Now, when you read what Jesus said, when you have faith is the faith in the terms that Jesus used is to be connected with the power within you that is inseparable from the source, consciousness. When you have faith, you can tell a mountain, move from here to there, and it will happen. Now, there could be a kind of parable or analogy, or some people might want to take it literally. He also said, as you know, I've said before, the one statement that encapsulates the entire secret about manifestation. Jesus said, when you ask for something, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. They just encapsulate. Believe that you have received it. I've spoken about that at length in other sessions. To believe that you have received it is to feel connected with the essence of being, where anything else is, that's the cream, everything else is the skimmed milk. So if you have the cream, you can manifest anything in the realm of the skimmed milk. Now, that would mean that you can entirely change. If the statement about the mountain is to be taken literally, then it would be, he's saying that it is possible to completely change external reality, so-called physical reality, simply by the power of your mind. And I believe that is the destiny of humans. Eventually, humans will be able to simply manifest through the mind. If that were if at the moment, no, to some, if you can manifest quite a bit. Not immediately, you always need a little bit of time, mostly. There's a lot you can do, and even sometimes things that you think might be almost impossible, that's too far, that is possible to manifest. But there are limitations, you're absolutely right, and you need to recognize those limitations so that you are not engaged in completely useless manifestation practice, aiming at something that is not within the realm of possibility. For example, let's say I suddenly got it into my mind that I'm going to participate in whatever capacity in the Olympic Games, the next Olympic Games, whenever they are going to be, and I'm going to win a gold medal in boxing or whatever, or jumping or whatever it is. And no matter how powerful my manifestation is, that is not going to happen. So I know that is an impossibility. Or let's say I got it into my mind, I want to become the world's greatest ballet dancer. Okay. Now, if I'd been 10 years old, it might have worked, but it's not going to happen, that's for sure, no matter how powerful my manifestation practice is. So there are, now these things are kind of obvious, that there are physical limitations to what you can do or what your body can do. There may also be mental manifestations. Sometimes people have an image in their mind of what they want to be, but I remember watching years ago when we still had cable television, American Idol. Now, American Idol is all these people who perform. They want to be chosen as the next American Idol in all kinds of singing and dancing and so on. And one is sometimes amazed at the discrepancy between what people thought of themselves, how good they were at singing or dancing, and how bad they actually were when they performed. It's just the discrepancy was just incredible. They thought they were the potential greatest singer, but they were just awful. Just everybody could see they can now. That's now that could be that they haven't practiced enough. It could be that they forgot that in order to achieve mastery in anything, you have to focus your mind and you have to enjoy what you're doing for quite some time before power flows into what you do. So they have just a mental projection. I'm going to be a rock star. But then there's the practice. You have to live it. You have to live the music. You have to live, or you compose the music and you live it every day. And you live, your instrument becomes part of your very being, and you live it, and you enjoy it. And then you go into the subway and you play there for a year or two. And then you go somewhere else to a little bar and you play there. So many great stars have started, and then you live. And there was this book, I can't remember the title. He found it and he looked at the various great musicians and dancers who had achieved great things. He calculated that they had 10,000 hours of practice before mastery was achieved, and something was able to flow through them that made them great. With the Beatles, for example, he examined for how many years the Beatles performed in just little bars, and in Liverpool and then in Hamburg. They were performing in little beer cellars and tiny bars, and he calculated, and he came to the average figure of 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of practice. And that's so very often the people don't achieve. The goal may not be totally unrealistic. It may be within the realm of possibility, but what they miss is the journey towards the goal, and they don't enjoy the journey, and they don't want to. The energy is not there to practice every day, to do every day, so that the power increases and flows through them. Now, quite a few of those people, they never consciously manifested something. The Beatles, I'm sure, it just was a gradual evolutionary process for them before what they created was very deeply inspiring. I mean, the songs are relatively simple, but they have an essence. There's something there that makes them, they'll still be around in 200 or 300 years' time. There's something there that suddenly came, and it wasn't there initially. So are you able to enjoy the doing in the present moment? Really comes back to the present moment. Do you enjoy the journey towards it? Let's say you want to become people have an image of what they want to become, but are not able to give it attention in the present moment, so that the journey must be joyful to be empowered. So many things are possible. Now, even people who seem to have a very bad voice, that say this person could never sing, that's not necessarily true. If this person continues, it could happen that something will become through. Look at somebody like who was this jazz singer, very famous, African-American, very famous jazz singer, who had this deep croaky voice. The name escaped me right now. One of the most famous, Louis Armstrong, I think. Was he a jazz singer?
Mm-hmm.
Was he? I think he was.
Yeah.
So he had this, and you would say, how could this person ever have a singing career? It's totally impossible. But the strange thing is, everybody would have said, there's no chance for you, just do something else. When he did, eventually something happened. It didn't matter anymore that this wasn't not normally regarded as a good singing voice. That there was an essence that came through him that used the voice and touched everybody. So that was incredible. If this person had asked anybody, I want to be a singer, and says, okay, here's what you can do, please think of something else. So often it is the case, and I don't know, I haven't read his biography. I don't know what his past was, what his journey was, but it's amazing that somebody who has such a bad singing voice can create such wonderful songs. Quite amazing. So there are incredible possibilities that the mind would exclude by saying prematurely. So many things are possible, but some things are not possible, often involving, as the examples I gave him for myself. Well, I think to get a medal in the Olympic Games, there may be one or two disciplines that I could still be good at, who knows? One could be, that's a favorite Canadian discipline called curling, where you push that thing on the ice. It doesn't require too much physical strength, so there might be a chance for me participating in the Canadian team of curling, but I doubt it. That's a little aside. Yes, knowing what is possible, but without limiting yourself, as in the example of Louis Armstrong, he would have done if he had listened to others and said, who probably told him, your voice is no good. If he had listened to others, and he didn't, fortunately. And when I was writing The Power of Now, people sometimes ask me, what do you do? And I said, I'm writing a book, spiritual book. And they say, what about? I said, it's about present moment, living in the present moment. And several times people said, oh, forget about it. It's been done so many times. This is something that's already been overdone. You should think of something else. This possibly present moment is old hat. Just don't do it. There's no point. You're wasting your time. Somebody actually told me, literally, he had read many spiritual books and said, if you are writing another book about the present moment, you're wasting your time. And I was writing The Power of Now. I didn't listen to him. I knew I wasn't wasting your time. I loved the process. There was an empowerment that happened. It didn't matter to me very much whether the book would be successful or not, which was very much secondary. I knew the book had to be written. If I had not written it, I would have become ill and I would have died. That's how strong the energy flow was. If I had not responded to it, I would have died or become seriously ill. So don't necessarily listen to others. But yes, it is true. On the one hand, there are things that are not possible. For example, physical flying. right now is not yet possible, at least not in this dimension. You can probably fly in the astral dimension. You can, and when you dream, you might travel to the astral dimension and experience, as I sometimes do, that you actually lift off and you can, there you go. But in this dimension, I would not step off my balcony and jump off or start practicing flying. I don't recommend it. Certain things are impossible, and you need to just use your discrimination and look at it without limiting yourself unduly, because many things that other people might tell you are impossible are actually within the realm of possibility. And even certain things that your mind will tell you are impossible may be within the realm of possibility. And again, there's a fine line there. Important thing is make sure that you enjoy the doing of it. And then you focus on your destination, but enjoy the doing in the present moment. And then whether or not you even arrive at your destination becomes secondary, because there's such deep enjoyment in the present moment.